BECU is committed to helping you become financially fit. Meet Todd Peach, KISW's financial advisor.
Should you buy or lease your next car? Most experts would advise that in the long run, buying is more economical than leasing. When you lease a car, you will not build up equity, and you may be responsible for wear and tear or excessive mileage charges. If you do decide to lease, be careful and pay attention to the realities of leasing.
To get more financial advice from Todd, visit KISW.com/BECU.
Switch to Farmers and you could save an average of $437 on your home insurance. Get a quote at farmers.com.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Based on average nationwide annual savings survey dated July 2020 to 21, underwritten by Farmers Trucker Fire Insurance Exchanges or affiliate. Products not available in every state.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your driver's license is important so you can get back and forth to work, get your kids to school, and back and forth to daycare. If your license has been suspended because you can't pay your tickets, you can't do any of those things. Let's talk about Chapter 13 bankruptcy. You may have heard the tickets cannot be discharged, but they can be dealt with in a Chapter 13 case. Why not come in for a free consultation? The chapter you choose will make all the difference to your getting back legally on the road. Let's design a plan to pay off your tickets and restore your license immediately. I'm attorney Travis Gagne. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle.
BECU presents the KISW Financial Advisor. Here to talk money, please welcome Todd. I invented numbers, so I know how this stuff works. Peach.
That's right, baby. Todd, welcome to the show, buddy.
Morning, BJ.
Morning, Todd. As you know, Todd has got 25 years of experience in the financial services industry. Rock star for BECU. And, of course, if you live, work, or attend school in Washington State, guess what? You get to be a member of BECU. It's a credit union. It does everything a bank does. But what is the big difference with BECU and other credit unions than regular banks, Todd?
Well, we might need to amend the attend school because we're not attending a school right now. But
oh, right.
I'm kidding, BJ.
School hard knocks, baby.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you're you're virtually attending a school, does that work for me? Yeah,
it does if you live here. Yeah, I mean, the bottom line is you own us, right? The members own the credit union, so everything we do is for the best interest of the membership, whether that's low fees, no fees, lower rates on mortgages or auto loans or anything. By definition, all the revenue we bring in goes back to the member one way or the other.
And for the last 16 years, Todd has been the senior manager of business development. And Todd has also been a guy that will answer any questions you have. In the many years that we've had him on this show, finances are super important, as we know, ever since 2008. And obviously with COVID, finances have taken a big hit. So it's so important that you know the right thing to do, the best thing you can. And Todd will be happy to answer your questions at 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. Ron in Bellevue. You're on with Todd from BECU.org. Go ahead, Ron.
Hey, good morning, guys. Thank you, Todd, for taking my call.
Of course, Ron.
So my wife and I, we're both in our early 60s. We're getting ready to buy her a new car so we can get it paid off before I retire. She's a member of BECU. I am not. Our credit rating, I want to say, is in probably the low 700s last time we looked.
Okay.
So my question is, what can she do to find out what kind of rates we might qualify for from BECU? Do I have to join? Those kinds of things.
Yeah. I guess, are you opposed to joining at all?
No, not at all.
That Todd guy, I have to tell you, he wasn't there.
It's not a gang. Todd's not going to beat you into it or anything.
It doesn't cost anything. So, Ron, it's going to be based.
Member.
Okay. Yeah, I would just have her go ahead, or you can do it for her with her, as you guys probably also share joint accounts and whatnot. But just go ahead and apply online. Or if you feel more comfortable in a branch setting, you can certainly set up an appointment to do that. But yeah, just apply right online. You'll get pre-qualified. You'll know the rate, and then you can shop around if you're not happy with what you see. With auto loans and mortgages, HELOC, home equity loans, you can shop around. You're not going to get that credit ding like you would for, like, say, a credit card. So feel free to take a couple weeks, shop around, see what you can find. and go from there. But it's possible that you would not have to become a member. Only time you would is if, for some reason, the income that she was be able to report wasn't enough to stand up for the loan. But in that case, you might have to.
I can testify to that because when I bought my first Hyundai over 20 years ago, Todd, BECU did my loan, and I wasn't a BECU member, but that's how I got into BECU. Was like, hey, you know what? I mean, let me check these folks out now that they got my car loan. And it seemed like I was really happy with the loan and how everything was running. Now I'm a proud member because Todd beat me he basically ganged me in there. 206.
So, Ron, I would say if you're not opposed to it, just go ahead and apply together, and they can set you up for membership as part of that process, and that'll give you the best chance to get the best rate as well.
206-421-ROCK, Texas at 77999. Talking to Todd Peach from BECU.org. Let's go to Kevin in Stanwood. Kevin, you are on the Rock.
Morning, guys.
Morning, Kevin.
Morning, Kevin.
So I was about 10 years away from my house being paid off, and I just refinanced it because I'm a disabled veteran, so they knocked my rate down about half a point and saved me a little over $500 a month. My brother and I are looking to buy a chunk of land, but I want to know the best way to go about it to make sure I don't lose the land in case something were to happen, say, heaven forbid that he were to get divorced.
Oh, that's interesting. So in other words, you understand that, Todd? He's afraid that the ex-wife could have claim to the land he co-owned.
Mm-hmm. And this would apply, I guess, whether it's land or whether it's a house or really any other collateralized asset, right? So he's going to have, it sounds like, Kevin, you're going to have 50-50 share in the property?
Yeah, when we buy, we're going to go 50-50 on it because we're both veterans.
Okay. So there's going to be a deed, and it's going to be in both of your names. So that's an asset that he owns 50% and you own 50%. If there was something on his side that, he went through a divorce or whatever, then his estate or whoever is going to get that other 50%. So that could cause a problem. The only thing I can think of is, and we would have to do some research on this, but see if there's a way to put it in some sort of a trust or some sort of a legal document that spells out what happens in different scenarios. And if you want to email me, I could try to get you in contact with somebody that might be able to answer that question for you a little bit more.
Well, Todd, let me throw this out, and Kevin, thank you for the call, because they're still going in on it anyway. And whenever you go in on any piece of property with somebody, can't they at some point just say, look, I don't want to own this anymore, so I want you to buy me out? And can you force someone to do that, to basically pay your 50% so that you can sell it? How does that work?
No, you can't force them, and that's why you see in a lot of times in divorces and whatnot, they end up selling the property and moving on.
That's what I mean. If she wants him to, if she has half the property and wants to sell it, or I should say a quarter of the property, saying the brother has the other quarter, what can she do? Because if she can't force them to sell, then what does that mean?
Well, they're either going to be sitting on it together, or they're going to eventually come to an agreement on what you would do.
Yeah. So, but like you said, she could never force the other brother to ever sell.
No.
Yeah, well, so that's something to think of. By the way,
it's like, do you want to just kind of move on, or do you want to make someone miserable? I guess it depends on how bad the divorce goes.
And that also goes for anybody going into some sort of 50-50 agreement with anybody when you buy anything. It's like you're stuck with it no matter what they want to or don't want to do.
We have a text question for Todd. It says, Todd, I always appreciate your insight in talking to BJ and Miggs. I was wondering, if a coworker walked into work with a new hairstyle, would you tell them that they looked better before or they look better now?
That's a good question. That's a very, very good question.
I've had that happen, actually.
Wait, did you tell a coworker that they looked better before the haircut?
I just, to each his own, right?
Wow.
Well, this comes...
Who am I to judge one way or the other?
He's actually avoiding this question more than Chris Evans avoided the question about the pictures that were shown.
Because this all says Sarah came in today with newly dyed hair. It's blonder and a haircut as well. And Danny told her that he liked her hair, how it looked before, better.
Oh, I don't know if I would have done that, but...
Yeah, because, Todd, you have at least one daughter, I think, right?
I have two, yeah.
Oh, yes. You should know better than that if you have two daughters and a wife, right?
No, Danny has one, right? I guess I wouldn't have done that. You're right. No, but I guess the way I look at it is that if they're changing, they're changing because that's what they believe in, that's what they support, and what's what they want, right? And so I'm all for that.
And it doesn't affect their credit score, so who cares, right?
That's right. That's the important thing. Todd goes, did this do anything at all for your FICO? Because if it does, then we're good.
Okay, we have a serious question from a texter. Todd, I've been with BECU for about 10 years. I would love some advice on my auto loan. I got into a bad rate of 14.5% over 6 years.
Whoa.
It's been over 2 years, and I'm wondering if refinancing would be a good option. My credit's okay, a bit under 700. Thanks for your help over the years with these clowns. Wait, I shouldn't have read that last part.
I guess I'd have to know how much more time do we have to pay on the loan. I guess it's a text, so we don't know. But
that's an interesting thing, Todd, because
6 years.
Because the last guy pointed out he had 10 years left on his home loan, and I want you to, I would like you to speak about that before, because is it a smart idea to refinance to save a monthly situation if you don't have to, like to make your payment smaller if you don't have to, as opposed to going back into a 30-year mortgage when you had just 10 years left? That's what I was thinking when that first caller said it, and you did mention how duration, like how much time do we have left, does actually play a big part in whether you should or shouldn't refinance.
Yeah, absolutely. So, like on the car, if we're talking 6 months to a year, let's just double down. Let's get that thing paid off, right?
So ride it out. Just ride it out at the current rate.
Yeah, exactly. We should not be 6 years into a loan and still have 6 years left. That doesn't work, right? In this, I can't see that happening. But so if you don't have a lot of time left, then let's just pay it off. But if you do have 2, 3, 4 years left on a loan, it does make sense to make sure, let's go ahead and take a look at what interest rate you could get, what those terms would be, what your payment would be, and see if there's some money that could be saved over that period of time. But I'm all about getting it paid off. So I'm always going to lean to let's just forge forward and pay it off. Now, again, if you're talking about a mortgage or something, yes, it can make sense.
I'll see. Hello?
Hello? Well, that guy just engaged. I don't know what the heck just happened. Yeah. That was weird.
Whoa.
I didn't touch a thing. You saw that. Whoa. Yeah, that was weird. Wow, Todd.
On a mortgage, BJ, even if you did refinance, you can make the term anything you want. So you could go to a 30-year mortgage and pay it off and make the payments thus that it'd be paid off in 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, you name it.
Yeah, but Todd, in order for that to happen, obviously you're going to make a higher payment if you want to pay it off in a short amount of time, I would imagine. And so what would you say is the amount of time left on a mortgage that you'd say, no matter what the rate is, it's not worth refinancing because you're so close to paying it off? Is 10 years that amount of time, or is 10 years still a good amount of time left on a mortgage that you could refinance?
It could, yeah. And it depends, BJ. So let me just throw an example out there. Let's say you had 10 years left and you got your mortgage. This is not realistic because I think you would have refinanced, but you got it in the early 90s, let's say, right? When interest rates were almost 10%.
Yeah.
Now you wouldn't still have a 10% mortgage, right? But you probably would have refinanced. But let's, for sake of example, let's say you did. Well, now you could get a 10-year no-fee mortgage where you pay nothing to refinance, and that rate's probably going to be more in that 4.5% rate. So that's a no-brainer. You're going to pay nothing. You're going to be on a 10-year amortization, just like you have 10 years left on the other, but you went from 9-10% to 4.5%. So we have to really run the numbers on each scenario and each person's needs and goals to see if it makes sense. And sometimes it will, sometimes it won't.
And that guy said he has 4 years left on that one.
Wow, 4 years left
on the mortgage.
On the auto loan.
Oh, on the car.
Oh, well, yeah, email me. It's probably something we should want to look into. But I want to dig into, why. Let's set ourselves up for the next time that we don't have to take out such a long term on the auto loan.
That's it. And of course, this is the great thing about BECU is there's a lot of financial advice you can get as well. And if you didn't get through on the phone lines today, just go to KISW.com, scroll down, you'll see the banner with Todd and I. Just click on that. Todd will answer any questions via email that he can. Todd, as usual, man, thank you so much for being on the show. We appreciate it.
Thanks, BJ. Appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Again, BECU.org. Check them out. They make banking awesome for you. Got a popular celebrity that just admitted that the rumors that he once smoked pot at the White House are true. You'll hear from him at 8:17 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
BECU is committed to helping you become financially fit. Meet Todd Peach, KISW's financial advisor.
Many of us face a financial crisis at some time in our life. But who do we turn to for help? Promises to eliminate any portion of your debt or legitimate credit items should raise a red flag. A good place to start is the National Foundation for Credit Counselors, or NFCC. Visit nfcc.org.
To get more financial advice from Todd, visit KISW.com/BECU.
Farmers Policy Perks are that little extra something you can get when you're a farmer's customer. So to tell you about them, we're adding a little extra something to this ad. Another me. And when you have multiple farmers policies, you could save up to 45% on your auto insurance with the Auto Multi-Policy Discount. What's going on with our voice? I thought I'd add some drama. Well, isn't that something? Get a quote at farmers.com.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Not available in every state. Only available with select Farmers branded policies. Subject to terms and conditions. Underwritten by Farmers Trucker Fire Insurance Exchanges, Farmers New World Life Insurance Company, or affiliate.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. Recently, former President Jimmy Carter said that one of his sons smoked pot with Willie Nelson on top of the White House.
That's just like I have a friend that has a problem kind of a thing, and he says one of my sons when he means actually him. Yeah. I don't know why. I'm just kind of wishful thinking. Yeah. I would totally get stoned with Jimmy Carter.
That would be so cool if it was Jimmy Carter. You know what I mean? I would love that.
I'm trying to think of all the presidents we've had in our time. Who would be the most fun to get stoned with? Ooh. Within our, I mean, I guess with, yeah.
Harold and Kumar made it sound like the George Bush. At least in the Harold and Kumar movies, it made it sound like George Bush would be fun.
Oh yeah, if it's movie George Bush, I'm all in. Yeah, Harold and Kumar, George Bush is like the greatest person in the world. Like that cracked me up.
I'm hearing that George Bush actually is a pretty fun dude to be with. You know, again, when you're president, you got, you know, your life is completely different.
Oh man, I don't know. Like, I wonder. Yeah. Like, is it Bill Clinton? Like, can you get him stoned and then hear some of like the crazy stories?
I will not tell you any stories about sex with that woman.
And then you pass him the joint and goes, let me tell you about that Monica.
All right, I will tell you that story.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I don't know. Reagan doesn't seem like he's...
Well... He probably had a lot of great
jelly beans.
Hollywood
jelly
guy,
beans.
dude. Are you kidding me? He's got a lot of great stories about living and being an actor.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if he'd be... man, I don't know. I think I might go with Carter.
Carter's your guy.
Well, I know you like peanuts, and I like peanuts. And if we're stoned, we're going to eat food.
And hopefully peanuts.
And peanut butter.
Hey, plus Billy, his brother was out of his mind, right? His brother
Billy beer.
He loved to party.
So we got the hookup on the beer.
All right.
We got the munchies food.
Yeah.
And he knows Willie Nelson, so maybe he'll invite his friend Willie over.
Yeah, so this is the thing. Jimmy Carter's brother was a bit of a partier. Apparently his son was a bit of a partier, from what we can understand. So this was a thing that Jimmy Carter revealed. So Willie was just recently on the Tonight Show, so of course, you know what, Jimmy Fallon's got to ask him, hey, what's this about you and Jimmy Carter's kid?
News came out that former President Jimmy Carter, you already know where I'm going with this. He admitted in a documentary that one of his sons smoked pot with you on the roof of the White House. Is that true? And what do you remember about that? And
no, it's a true story. I had a little fun on top of the White House, and also got to go down in the basement and the bowling alley down there, and I slept in the Lincoln bedroom. So I've done it all.
How about though? Apparently, Carter was trying to like protect, or Willie Nelson was trying to protect Jimmy Carter in his autobiography when he wrote about the story a while back. He said that he did it with one of his servants, like a person that works at the White House.
Yeah, he didn't want to have Carter get the blame.
He didn't want to dime out his son, and then eventually it's just like Jimmy's like, no. He said it was with one of my servants at the White House. That's not true. It was one of my sons.
Wow. Imagine that, dude. Imagine,
That means you could trust Willie Nelson with anything.
Yeah, you can.
Right?
I hadn't thought about that. And also, maybe, we should really relax a lot of what we believe about anything, because this is the highest office in the land, and boy, did they get high in that office in the land. At least Willie and the kid did.
Somebody even said, you can't go with Ronald Reagan. He's the whole just say no to drugs guy. Next thing you know, Nancy's going to walk in and make you feel bad.
Just because Nancy said no to drugs doesn't mean Ronald said no to drugs.
Yeah, but Nancy might walk in. I don't want to be on edge.
Oh, you don't want to be on edge?
That's awkward.
No. Well, apparently the roof of the White House is a good place to go. Nobody goes up there, I guess. You can smoke pot up there. Nobody knew.
I'm trying to think of okay, so like a place that you're not supposed to do it, like where's you know what I mean, like those things where you're like, oh, this is so taboo to be smoking pot here. I remember thinking at concerts, like sneaking into a bathroom and like, just smoking and then flushing the toilet and blowing the smoke in the toilet, like you're hoping that it could flush the smoke away.
Oh yeah, toilets do that. Yeah,
they don't, but
If you're thinking of the most taboo place to do that, church.
Oh yeah.
Like in the confessional booth, or I was an altar girl, so maybe in like the altar kid area. That
I was an altar boy.
Really?
Same. Yeah. I didn't even know they had altar girls. They did?
Yeah, at least at my church.
Yeah, mine too. Yeah. Mine didn't.
Wow. Yeah, mine didn't either.
Yeah, them girls can't ring them bells.
Oh, I rang those bells hard.
I bet you did.
Good for you. Ring those bells.
That was like that was the ultimate, because in my church when I was growing up, it was 2 altar boys would work as the altar boys. And the one that you really trusted got to do the bell ringing.
Oh,
because there's a part during like the sermon
head
in the
boy
Catholic church where he says something.
It's like where they put the cup up high or something.
Yeah, he says something that refers to like a bell's ringing or sounds or something. I can't remember. I'm not a very good altar boy. And then you just go jingle jingle jingle, and that was like nerve city.
Yeah,
yes.
You were sweating.
You were the man though.
Yes.
Yeah, you're like, you know what? I'm the bell guy.
And
my brother wanted to beat me up one time where I got picked over him.
Oh, wow. Younger brother beats older brother for bellboy.
Well, I didn't yell suck it because, that's not, that's too dangerous at a Catholic church. Whoa. Sorry.
So true if you're an altar boy. That's why I'm surprised they had Vicky as an altar girl, because I just feel like they're not what they're looking for. I'm not what you're looking for, lassie.
I still remember how to ring those bells.
Oh, really?
Like, ding, 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 ding. Like you have to have that pause and then go again.
Look at that.
Yes, I remember.
The best was, did you ever get hired to work weddings?
I think I did once.
Because then you got money.
Oh, you got the tip? Because they tipped the priest. You didn't get any of that?
No.
Oh yeah, we would get $20 each.
Same with funerals, actually.
Okay, I never did that one.
We weren't in the market for funerals.
Yeah, I think I got $25 a funeral.
And how much for a wedding?
I never worked a wedding.
Oh, the weddings we got 20.
Well,
and
Danny was
big time.
Look at the way Danny dressed. He's more of a funeral goth looking guy.
That's
They wanted
true.
him at the funeral.
He looks better in black.
Yeah, he does.
Fair.
Yeah.
If you tip us, we're all available to be your altar boys and girl for your wedding.
Yeah, I'll
or
Google
funeral.
how to do it again. I mean,
well, Vicky knows how to do it.
I'll be the bell ringer.
Yeah, she knows how to ring bells, Steve. You're out. Sorry, Vicky's in. You're out.
Since I was an altar boy, and many times I would get caught staring at the girl in the choir. Her name was Sarah, and I forgot to ring the bells. You had one job.
Really? Yeah, but Sarah was Sarah. What can I tell you?
See, our church was co-ed too in terms of the altar girls and boys, and there was a lot of hooking up going on backstage.
Excuse me?
Oh yeah, yeah.
See, I missed that
Lots
fun
of
part of
making
church.
out.
There was none of that in my church. That was just all boring, like hanging out with people you didn't want to hang out with in that way. I mean, I suppose if you were into the same sex, you'd have a great time. But you know what? That wasn't me, and so you got to have the co-ed. Damn it!
Yeah, we didn't have girls as altar boys. Which makes sense.
I guess they would be
altar boy.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, no altar girls.
Yeah. And if you're getting high, are you an altered boy?
No, there.
Yeah. Nice. Thank you.
Man, we felt like rock stars, though, as altar boys. I remember thinking that was that was the only thing that would get me excited about going to church.
New York Catholic Church, you are rock stars.
Packed room, all eyes on you. One of you carries like the cross.
Yes.
Dude.
Oh yeah, you guys are the guys.
I mean, you walking out with like a strut, like you're part of like the priest gang.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And
I'm glad you used that word, because it's very much what I used to think of when it came to how the churches rolled, like gangs sometimes.
Well, dude, it was like you just walk out, all eyes. It's like the music, it's all over the top, and the stained glass, and you're just like, you got this outfit on. You're gonna ring a bell or two.
Did you get the book duty? Like where you hold the book for the priest?
Oh, yes.
That was one of the tasks.
I forgot about that.
And they told you not to lock your knees because otherwise you'd pass out.
Yeah.
Because the book was kind of heavy and made of gold.
And then you also had to help out with the communion.
Yeah. And also, did you guys ever do
handling gold
incense?
Oh, yes.
Where you had to do the incense, and then the whole back of the church looked like it was on fire because you put too much incense on the coal, and then you got in trouble by the priest. It was great.
Personal experience? Maybe.
Oh, so he says Danny's right. And then in parentheses, man, that hurts to say. Church was a gold mine for slutty chicks in high school.
Oh, yeah.
See, I stopped being an altar girl like at 10, because at one point it became embarrassing. Like, it's like, everyone is staring at me. I'm 10 years old. Stop looking at me. Like, self-esteem.
You were an altar girl under the age of 10, and they gave you all those jobs?
Yeah, I think I was from like 7 or 8 to like 10 or 11-ish.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, how's Danny hooking up with all these girls at 10?
I was a player.
I was until like high school.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's why.
I did mine until I was 37.
Oh, cool. Last week,
Yeah. Good job, Steve. Still hasn't figured out how to ring the bells, but you know what? The world's oldest altar boy.
Yeah, you know, that cross is heavy. I finally gotta get it. It's hurting my back these days, boys. I gotta get out. I don't remember. I think I stopped just because I got bored going to church. You know what I mean? It got to the point where, because Catholic Church, man.
Oh, it's a beating.
Long, it does not stop,
it
and it's
doesn't
like,
stop.
and it's like all like call and response, and
it's so morose too. Like
it's not fun.
I wanted to be part of a Baptist church because they looked like they were having a great time.
So you should have gone to our church at the time because we had really lively music in Spanish. So we had mass in Spanish.
Again, you look like you're having a
really
great
fun.
time. What is it about American Catholic churches where it's just like it seemed like every mass was a funeral. It just felt like that way.
It was very. It was. You're absolutely right.
They ingrained the guilt into you.
Yeah. Oh. And then just like the old priest guy, and he's like singing things, and you just
that's what we got to do.
See, I stopped when I was 16 because it was when it was the confirmation age, and I had gone to Sunday school and everything.
Oh, CCD.
And I decided that I wasn't going to get confirmed because I didn't want to write the essay to whoever you have to write the essay to God, I guess. And my mom was like, "No, you can get confirmed. I will write the essay for you, and then you never have to go to church again." And I was like, "Yes." But then after that, I stopped going to church. So.
That's the joke. That's what confirmation is. It confirms you never want to go back.
Yeah. It's kind of true. It was right around that time where I decided to make the decision not to go anymore. I think it was, in confirmation, it was like a big deal because like that's when you feel like you've become a man. You know, at least in ours, there was a lot of like hype to that. And my exciting part about confirmation was then you get to pick your own like extra name in your name.
Yeah.
Your confirmation name. So like that was like a big deal. And usually what you would do is you'd pick whoever you're going to have as like your godfather. Like you pick the confirmation godfather.
On the day of Steve's confirmation.
So much weird tradition in this.
It is. Yeah, no, it's not mob related at all.
I remember I picked my Uncle Ernie, the one that passed away. I had such a big impact in my life. I mean, I was like so excited, but I did not like his name. So I didn't want to have Ernie be my confirmation name.
So what did you do? Pick Bert?
I was going to ask. Please tell me it was like a Bert Ernie combo.
No, it's even dumber. I was really into the New York Mets at the time.
Okay,
because like they were just like a fun young team, and I really loved Lenny Dykstra. So
you did not.
Yes, Lenny,
Steve, Lenny. Lenny's his confirmation name.
I went Leonard. You know, that was John's more. But I remember my family were like, "Wait a second, you're not going with Ernie's name because you want to go with Lenny." And in my head, I'm like, "Yeah, he's the star player of the New York Mets. Who wouldn't want to be named Lenny?"
Yeah. And what a model citizen he turned out to be.
Well, he had some problems. I mean, all of us have.
It's funny you say that because mine was Jeremiah. And I went because there was a guitarist that I really liked at the time in the band called Mess called Jeremiah. And I was like, that's the only one that I found. My cousin actually found a Saint Blaze. So his was Mark Blaze.
Oh, that's cool.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah.
I wish I would have known that.
Does he do porn now?
No.
Oh. Perfect porn name.
He's a doctor now, so he's Dr. Blaze.
Dr. Blaze.
Dr. Porn.
Someone says I chose the name Emma because that was my favorite Spice Girls name. LOL.
Yes.
See, I'm not the only person that has very mature reasons for picking their confirmation
It's
name.
a sacred tradition that we all took very seriously.
I was very serious. And I was like, plus, our favorite pizza place was Lenny and John's in New York. And I'm like, he's first billing.
Yeah.
I'm not regretting not getting confirmed because that would have been awesome if I would have known that you could have chosen a new name. I would have had so much fun with it.
Oh, they didn't tell you that?
No, I just remember having a very awkward fight with my parents telling them I'm not getting confirmed.
Your parents failed you and this city.
Yeah, they weren't happy.
Outside of the church, nobody really gave a crap about that name. Because they'd be like, what's your name? I'm like, you go somewhere like, what's first name? Steven. Middle name? William. Also Lenny. And they're like, what? And I'm like, my confirmation name's Lenny. Like, I was very serious. Like, we don't care. Like, cool. Like, your confirmation name's Lenny.
Who cares?
That's not on your birth certificate.
I don't even know what my conf name is. I think I took the same name as my middle name. I just assumed that's what you're supposed to do. So does that mean my father was my godfather? Because I took his name, I think. I don't have a middle name.
I don't know.
And I got confirmed. I know I did because that was a big rush. They needed me to be confirmed.
For all I know, that was just how it was done in our area.
Well, Boston, too, I would imagine is the same situation.
It was just considered, like, it was typical. And I got to think about, like, my Uncle Ernie was awesome. It didn't seem like it fazed him one bit. But I would imagine there's a part of him that probably was, like, having dinner with my aunt, and he's sitting there, and he's just like, What's up with Steve not naming, going with Ernest?
I'm supposed to be his godfather? He wants me to be the godfather, but he didn't take my name?
Right, it's an honor that I get to be your godfather, but wait, you're not going Lenny?
And you ruined it, buddy, because had you known how big Ernest would be in your life from saving Christmas and everything, you would have taken Ernest as your name.
I went to camp and everything.
I know. You had no idea. If you had any idea, you would have said, sorry, Lenny Dykstra, but Ernest is going to save everything.
If only there was a St. Nails, I could have went with his nickname.
St. Nails.
Somebody says I was into Nine Inch Nails at the time, so I went with Trent for Trent Reznor.
Okay.
Nice.
I was going to say, did you go with Nails as well? Okay. Hey, that's great. Yeah, delightful. We're all, you know what? If there's going to be a bolt of lightning, I would like to leave a little early today, just in case.
Fair.
Yesterday, Steve, he did get this one right, but he took too many guesses.
Which body of water are Madagascar and Sri Lanka located in?
Africa.
No. What body of water are Madagascar and Sri Lanka located
Pacific.
in? No.
Atlantic.
No.
Indian.
Yep, but
Damn
you already
it.
guessed.
Yeah, you already guessed, buddy. You want a shot at beating Steve? All right, you got it.
That's Lenny. Beating Lenny. Beat Nails.
206-421-ROCK. We're going to play Beat Nails at 8:47 on The Rock.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. Here's another question from a listener. I'm getting my wages garnished. Can bankruptcy help with that?
Absolutely. One of the big reasons people file bankruptcy is because they have a judgment or a lawsuit against them, or their wages are getting garnished, and so they can't pay their other regular ongoing bills. People sometimes think that you can't file bankruptcy once they have a judgment against them or once a garnishment has started, and that's not true. Filing bankruptcy will immediately stop any garnishment that you have going, except for child support, and stop your creditors from continuing on with garnishments of your bank account, your wages, and in most cases will discharge that liability through the bankruptcy process. And we can file a bankruptcy case for you usually the day you come in.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. Thanks for listening.
BECU is committed to helping you become financially fit. Meet Todd Peach, KISW's financial advisor.
Should you buy or lease your next car? Most experts would advise that in the long run, buying is more economical than leasing. When you lease a car, you will not build up equity, and you may be responsible for wear and tear or excessive mileage charges. If you do decide to lease, be careful and pay attention to the realities of leasing.
To get more financial advice from Todd, visit KISW.com/BECU.